All right, welcome back everybody to Empyrion Galactic Survival. This is going to be a little bit of a sidestep from our series here, where we're going to go into creative mode and we're going to spawn in and upgrade our J-Jet and our Chisel to the second tier, the T2 CPU. Okay, that's the plan. If you didn't catch the last episode, I explained why and when and what and how and why we're doing this. I already said why, didn't I? And but the very short version is that I said from the get-go when we started this season that once we got established, got off the dead planet, got established on a new planet with a base and all that, we'd go ahead and spawn those ships back in rather than regrind to get them back in like we did in season 1. So that's the plan. Now, the rule for doing this, let's go ahead and get a creative game started here. So let's go start game, single player, creative, and I'm going to do this in space just because it's always easier to work in space. So let's do space station. Okay. So the reason, the rules for this, I guess, is that I'm allowing myself to spawn in and update the ships in creative mode to the second tier of CPU. Anything beyond that, I'm going to have to earn in the game itself. And but we just want to get those ships in, you know, so that they're functional and we can use them. And so that's the plan, Stan. And again, I did say that I was going to do this right from the get-go in the very first episode of season 2 here. And so we're going to do it. It's just going to save us time and allow us to get on with more exploration and the fun stuff here in the series without having to have several episodes on and off camera trying to grind to redo what we've already done for the most part. Okay, so let's get this thing out of the way. That's good enough. So let's start with the J-Jet first. What am I doing? No, I'm going here and here. Creative library. You know what? I actually haven't really looked at this stuff in creative mode since they upgraded it. That's kind of cool. That looks like a new... Oh, that's the Titan. Oh, cool. That looks nice. Anyway, okay, that's not what we're about, though. That is not what we're about. This is a nice little space station, too. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the spawn menu. We're going to go to small vessel. And we're going to find... Is it version 8? Let's see. J-Jet version 7. Okay. I guess it's version 8. I'm just trying to figure out which... Yeah, it's probably version 8 because this, I think this is an older I gotta clean some of this stuff out. Some of these really old files from several alphas ago are just cluttering up my stuff, and I gotta figure out how to get rid of those. I know I can go in to a certain folder and get rid of some of that stuff, but I'm pretty sure we're on version 8. In fact, that would be it, because the planet that's in the background was our Project Eden planet, that tropical planet that we were on in season 1. So that's got to be it. All right, so let's spawn this in. We'll get ourselves straightened out. Okay. So we got this upgraded in the first season. This was pre 11.5. This is before the CPU. They implemented the CPU. So let's look and see how badly we're off. Oh my god. We are so far over. I figured that was going to be the case. We are so far over. This ship is in tier 4. There's no way that's going to work. That's just not going to work. Oh man, I figured we were maybe somewhere between, you know, maybe a little over 2. All right, well, the first thing that's going to go, of course, are the RCSs. So let's see. We need to do this. It's just going to be easier for us to see what the hell's going on. Do I want to turn these lights off because everything is just saturated with the green? Yeah. There's the core. I don't even remember where those RCSs are. All right, well then let's just do it this way. Let's go devices. 26 RCSs. Okay, that's going to make a huge difference. So let's just see where the first one is. Because remember, this ship was originally built at Alpha. Actually, it was the very first version of the ship I built in Alpha 7, I think, or Alpha 8. 7 or 8. And it's just been, you know, upgraded since then. Okay, so there's a bunch of RCSs right there. Can we get to them without busting something else, though? That's the thing. We probably have to be, like, right inside of it. Alright, let's go here. Looking for this. We want a multi-tool. And we're going to want charges. That. Doesn't really matter. Let's just... Oh, shield's on. There we go. Whoop. You move so quickly. In God mode here. Right now, I just want to see where we're at once we remove all the RCSs, and then we'll go from there. I have a sneaking suspicion, though, that it's the shield generator that's going to have to go in order for us to make this usable. Alright, that's a Pentaxid tank. Kind of looked like an RCS. And keep in mind, too, you know, this ship was built to be an all-purpose ship. And it can't be that anymore. What it needs to be is a fighter jet. It's going to be a combat ship, and that's going to be its role. Which means probably this stuff should come out too. And you know, knowing that, well, here let's just do this systematically. Yeah, see, we've barely made a dent. We've barely made a dent in this. Holy shit. That's got to be... Yeah, we're going to have to take the shield generator out. I'm almost positive we are. But what I think we'll do, you know what, though? Let's take everything else out of the ship that's not needed for combat. Everything. We might need an O2 station, though. That's an RCS. That's an RCS. We don't need a container controller. We'll just put an ammo controller in. We probably are going to want to pressurize. We don't need an armor locker. All that stuff those are nice to haves, but not essentials. Don't need a constructor. Let's take all of this stuff out. Okay, there's the ammo controller. What I'm going to do is leave the controller in and maybe one or two extensions. And more RCSs there. It is going to need oxygen tank. See, we're only down to 51. What do we need? What do we need to get to? We need to get to 15,000. Or just a little bit below that. There is no way, you guys. There is no way that's going to work. It isn't going to work, man. Without taking the shield generator out, of course. Here, let's go back to here. Do a regroup. All right. We still got a bunch of RCSs, so let's go to our map and delete that. Let's see. Here, back to here. Okay, let's show that one on the HUD, and maybe that'll lead us to some of the other ones too. So, and see, right now the goal is just to see how we can get down the CPU down to within, you know, tier 2 range. I'm not too terribly worried at this point about the actual arrangement of the blocks. You know, we can fix all that stuff up later. Right now we're just trying to see how much we can do here. What am I doing? I'm going here. Okay, let's get that one out of the way. And we have 3 more. So let's see, show on HUD. Let's just show all of them on the HUD, even though they're potentially all together. Okay, so we got one there, and one there, and one there. Is that all of them? Yep. Okay, so that's all of them. Okay, so with all the RCSs gone now, we are down to 42,000. I've got to get to 15,000. So now what's got to happen? It's you know, here's the thing. The plan is for this to ride on the back of the chisel, so it doesn't need to warp. Let's take the warp drive out. Okay, so now where are we at with that? Wait a minute, what? Okay, so that got us down to 39,000. But you know what that suggests? That suggests that you really, and we ran into this with the Stingray too, you really can't have a shield generator until you hit tier 3. That's just, I think that's by design from what I've seen. Which is unfortunate because that severely limits then the, I mean, it makes the ship, you know, like older, you have to function like older alphas where before we had shields. But the problem with that is that, you know, the POIs themselves have better targeting than they used to, and they themselves have shields on them. But I mean, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it until we can get, you know, into a tier 3 CPU for this ship. And that's something I can do in survival mode, but I'm not going to spawn that in because that's giving myself too much, I think. All right, so where's the warp drive? I mean, I'm sorry, the shield generator. So let's go here. And it could be that this ship just doesn't work at all with CPU anymore, with the way that it's designed. Equipment. Polarized hull shield, that's what I'm looking for. Show on HUD. Alright, so that's back here. Okay, so with that thing gone, now where are we at? Wow, we're still at 23,000 CPU, even with the shield generator and the pentaxid tank on. Oh man, I don't know, man. Guys, I don't know if it's going to be worth it, really, to be honest with you. This might just have to be a non-CPU ship. Because now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to start taking thrusters off. I mean, there's not really anything else. Well, hold on. Let's just remove all the guns for a second. Okay, now where are we at? Okay, look at that. We are just a smidge above the 15,000 mark by taking all of the guns off. So I think probably what we would have to do next is we'd probably have to start taking off the some of the thrusters out. See, the thing I don't want to do is I don't want to redesign this whole ship. I don't want to rebuild the whole thing. I just don't want to do it. I want to take the time to do it, and I like the ship the way that it is. Okay, let's try something. Let's just try something. What I want to do is... Actually, you know what? Let's just fly it for a second. Okay, so we are efficiency level 8%. How is it only 8% when we're only 200? Oh wait, we haven't put the second CPU on. Duh. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's see. What do we want? CPU for small vessel. T2. Why doesn't... Oh, because I'm in the ship. That's why. Where the hell did that go? I don't know what I did with it. Let's just grab it again. Okay. So we got lots of room in here to plop this thing down. So let's just put it there for the moment. Okay. Now, I'm just trying to see how she performs with the current thruster setup. Okay, turning's not that great. It's not terrible, but it's not that great. Acceleration's kind of sluggish. Braking's kind of sluggish. Strafing's pretty good. But, you know, the other thing about the turning, though, is that I've got the thrusters all kind of at the center of mass. And we learned with the Stingray that if you put those thrusters out further, that it improves the turning significantly. Okay, so let's try something here. I'm pretty happy with the strafing, which means I don't think I want to... I don't know that I want to remove too many lateral thrusters. We probably don't need this many down thrusters. So what if we remove these here I mean, down thrust is more significant in space than it is in atmosphere. Okay, so let's take those off. Now, let's take our rear thrust configuration, which is all in the back here, isn't it? Okay. So what I'm thinking we'll do with this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just leave that one there for a minute. Let's just take all of this stuff off for the moment. Okay. Okay, and then let's do the same thing over here. If I, what if we did this? I want that to be back one. No, that's where I want it, right there. Right? Wait. No, those are back one. Okay. Now let's just take you out altogether for the moment. Alright, let's see how she turns now. It's better. Still not turning on a dime, but I think it's good enough to actually use now. Yeah, I'd really hate to give up some of this lateral thrust, but the thing is, though, is, you know, we still... Okay, so now we're at 14,598 with this setup. That's pretty responsive lateral thrust. Down thrust is not so good now. Up thrust is really good. We could probably, you know, tone down that up thrust a little bit too, just to get some more CPU points back. And rely more upon rear thrust, you know, for lift and that sort of thing, which is kind of the idea now. Let's get rid of that. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's take away some of the up thrusters now. So we got those two up in front there. I'm thinking what we do is we take this one, that one. What did I just remove? A light? And maybe even these two. I know this is going to majorly affect things, but we need those CPUs back so we can get our guns back on here. Oh, did I take the landing gear off? Is that what I did? Heavy landing gear 1. Yep, sure enough. Okay. Now, let's see where we're at. So now we're down to 12.9 basically. And we still have decent lift. And now I understand we're in space, so it's going to be different in atmosphere, but let's get it working in space first, and then we'll see how it is in atmo. Yeah, we still have pretty good forward thrust. Lift isn't terrible. Not as good as it was, of course, before, but it's not terrible. Down thrust is pretty weak sauce, but I think we can probably live with that. All right, now let's get our guns back on and see what happens. So we had 6 Gatlings and 4 rockets. Let's put the Gatlings on first. Now the Gatlings were over here. Still put them over here. Who's got bigger hit points? Those have 300 hit points. What do these have? 330. Okay. Alright, well here. I'm not going to leave it that way, but let's just look, see where we're at. Ah, shit, we're already over again. We're over by quite a bit. Oh, that means there's no way in hell we're going to get these rockets on here. That's just not going to happen. Ah. Well, I mean, let's trim this back. Let's trim the lateral thrust back. See, so we got a thruster there, one there. Let's take you out. So I took those 3 out. This one too. Okay, what's that do for our CPU? We're getting there, we're getting there. Still not there. Okay, let's just take these out, all of these out here. That's gonna really slow down our lateral thrust, like big time slow it down. Oh wow, those shouldn't be there at all because they're blocked. will cause problems in the future. Alright, let's clear out some of these grates too, since they're no longer necessary. Now I'm going to have to patch, you know, this up, of course, but... none of that stuff needs to be there right now. All right, let's just see what happens. Well, first of all, okay, so we're back down below. We're back down below. Okay, so, that's terrible. It's so bad. And this is in space, too. It's going to be even worse in atmosphere. Oh, man, I don't know, you guys. I don't know if I can do this without drastically changing the design of the ship, which I do not want to do. I love it the way that it is. I just don't know if this is going to work. And we still don't have any room at all for rockets. What would probably have to do is we'd have to change it out. So we'd have to have a rocket configuration and a Gatling configuration, which is going to be a pain in the ass. All right. So that if we make this a Gatling ship, okay, if we just make it a seriously, you know, spray and pray ship, I want to look at something else. So here, grab some more Gatling guns. Can we do this? Here, let's just get rid of this crap. I mean, it's supposed to be like a little extra armor, you know, for the guns and stuff, but since we're on a shoestring budget with this ship, so to speak, I don't think we can afford to have that stuff. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to have... Let's see if we can make this an 8 Gatling gun ship. Okay, so we got 6 on the wings and the 2 in front. Are we over CPU now? 872 points we are. I mean, because 6 Gatling guns is going to shred. It's almost, I don't know though, it's almost not even necessary to have that many Gatling guns, because you're really only going to use them on drones anyway. Okay, let's try this. Let's leave the 2 in the nose, and let's take these back off. No. Actually, change the plans. Change the plans. No, that's right. That's right. Sorry. I'm making this up as I go. Bear with me. So take those off of there. So we got the 2 in the nose. Can we squeeze 2 of these in and get away with it? Because 2 homing rockets are good. 4 is just almost over. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. So we can fit 2 homing rockets on here and 2 Gatlings. Can we fit 4 Gatlings on? Yes. Yes, we can. 4 Gatlings and 2 homing rockets is not bad for a small vessel. Those could get the job done. Those could get the job done. So with that setup, and I won't necessarily leave it like this. I'm just trying to get the CPU to work first of all, and then we can worry about placement later. So now, what kind of room do we... Is there anything else we can take off the ship that just doesn't need to be on here? I think we've got... How much ammo does that give us, by the way? 250 with the extension. Not very much ammo, is it? Not much ammo at all. In fact, here, let's look at that for a second. If we... Let's do 15 millimeter. bullets. And let's do... where's the... Where's the homing rockets? Homing. What does this take? Oh, 135 millimeter H missile. Okay. I'm just curious how much ammo we can put in here. So we can put a full stack. Can we put 2 full stacks in? No. We can't. We can put a stack and a half-ish in of those. Okay, what about these guys? Remember, we're in creative mode here, so... Alright, so we could get 250 rockets, which is a pretty decent loadout. I think we need a couple more of these though, you guys. That's just not very much room at all. So let's grab... What if we put 2 more in? Now what's our CPU look like? It should be fine, because these don't take very much CPU. Okay, so that gets us up to 500. So could we put... We could put 2 full things of 15 mil bullets and 250 rockets. I think that's enough. It's a little bit sparse, but it's doable, I think. I think it's doable. Okay. So anything else we can take off the ship that does not need to be on here? O2 station. Let's look in here. Okay, thrusters, doors, detector, wireless connection. Yeah, we're going to want that. We got a bunch of fuel tanks. Do we need that many fuel tanks? And for that matter, do we need that many generators? We need that many O2 tanks. Any gears, motion sensors, spot, slopes. All right, let's look at something here. So at full thrust, going 2 simultaneous directions, we're only at 12.5% on the engine. Let's go down into atmosphere and see what happens. Yeah, that's the other thing. We haven't tested this thing in atmo yet. Yeah, the lateral thrust is really, really weak. I'm not too worried about the down thrust. Turning's pretty bad too. I'm like moving my mouse all the way across the mouse pad just to try and dip this thing back up. That's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. I need to be able to dip up and down more quickly than that. So that's probably also a thrust replacement thing. I mean, it looks like we have fairly even thrust though. I mean, we got some in front, we got some in back, and some more or less in the middle. We just ran out of gas. Let's see. Promethium. Okay. Rear thrust is okay. Turning's weak, but it's not unusable. Lateral thrust is very weak. And vertical turning is really, really bad. So, yeah, see, that's only at 13. The yaw's at 26, which is our horizontal turning. 7, 25, 41. So we're still pretty good on the rear thrust. Back thrust isn't terrible. We could probably even cut back on the back thrust a little bit and instead add some of those thrusters to the back to the lateral to compensate a little bit. I'm still in God mode, right? Okay. I don't want to fall down to the planet surface. All right, yeah, you know what? I think we can do that. Let's we're out of time, aren't we? Let's take that thruster out. See, the other thing I can do too is I can kind of trim off some of this extra armor plating that I put on. Just, you know, I mean, every little bit counts, right? Okay, I want this. I don't remember which direction. Oh, no. What am I doing? It's got the little fin thingamadoodle on the top. Okay. Alright, so we'll do that. Just took away something else I didn't mean to. Get all that shit off there. Okay, so that gives us 2 more thrusters that we can now put back for a lateral thrust. If we punched a hole right about here, but we've got a lateral thruster there too. I don't know if how much it matters for lateral thrusters in terms of having them evenly distributed from front to back. What if we put them here? Okay, so I want to turn you that way. Oh, is it buttoned up against that other one? It is. Oh, okay, well. I don't like that. Okay. Okay, so that reduced our back thrust a little bit and increased our lateral thrust a little bit. Now, the other thing I wanted to look at, though, is for our turning, for our what the hell's it called? I think it's our pitch, right? Yeah, our pitch. We got to improve that. So I wonder if having these guys in the center of the ship is affecting that. So what we could do instead is move, let's see, move them back here. Like I said, I'll worry about the actual positioning of all that stuff later. What what's in there. We've got a fuel tank in there. And I'm again, that's not going to stay that way, so don't freak out. I just want to see if that affects my pitch. No, I don't know. Not really. Doesn't really seem to impact the pitch at all. Alright, so guys, tell me in the comments, if you would, what do I need to do by way of thruster placement, okay, not RCS, by way of thruster placement to improve my pitch. I'm not sure how I do that. Let me know, if you would, in the comments on how I can improve that. Okay, well, I think, I know we're going long, but because I'm not going to be able to do very many episodes in the next couple of weeks, we're just going to do a longer episode. We do not need this many fuel tanks. We probably don't need, we could probably cut back to 2 generators and be okay. And we could probably take out some of the O2 tanks. And doing that's going to get us, it's going to lighten us up in a little more, and it's going to give us more CPU. So there's a lot more work that we need to do on this ship. But I think, you know, based upon what I've seen in this episode, I think we can get it to work. We just got to keep working with it. So, yeah, I was a little bit, excuse me, I was a little bit discouraged earlier, thinking there's just no way we're gonna get it to work. But now, you know, now that we've messed with it a little bit, I think we can get it to work. And what I'll probably end up doing is, you know, we'll figure out the best configuration in terms of, you know, the quantity of thrusters and guns and all that sort of thing. And then I'm probably going to completely gut the ship, the internals of the ship, and rearrange everything so stuff is neat. But I'm not planning on changing the exterior. The exterior of the ship is going to stay the way that it is, aside from, you know, of course, patching any holes that we left by taking stuff out. Did I look to see if our lateral thrusters is a little bit better? I mean, it is. Yeah, okay, it is. It's better. And, you know, by taking out those extra generators, because, okay, so look at this. Under full thrust in 2 simultaneous directions in atmo, we're still only at 38%. So that suggests, hold on a second. Firing the weapons doesn't use more generators. So that suggests we could take 2 Jennies out and still be okay. Now, you know, when the time comes for us to do a tier 3 CPU, the whole, you know, all that's going to change anyway. But for now, I'm pretty sure we can take out 2 engines. We can probably take out at least half of the fuel tanks, if not more. Because remember, this is no longer a long-range, you know, vessel. This is a fighter jet. It's going to use the capital vessel as a carrier, so it doesn't need to warp. It doesn't need to go really, really long ranges. So we just don't need all the fuel tanks that, you know, were originally put in here. So we can take a bunch of the fuel tanks down, maybe even cut them down to 25% of what they are now, and then cut the oxygen tanks, you know, down to maybe 2 or 3 at the most, maybe 4 at the most. How many do we have of those? Yeah, we could probably cut those in half, so just have 3 and be fine with that too. Because again, remember the role of this ship. It's not like we're going to be going on long interstellar, well, not interstellar, but interplanetary voyages in this ship, so we don't need a ton of oxygen either. So I think we can make it work. We're just gonna have to work with it a little bit more. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this episode here. Yeah, so what's coming up is we'll finish this, you know, figuring this out. I might even do the rest of this off camera, depending upon how things go. And then we're going to do another episode like this with the chisel. And we're going to do the same damn thing with the chisel that we've done here with the J-Jet. With the goal, of course, being getting it to work up to tier 2 CPU. Once we get that done, we get everything redesigned and rebuilt in the way we want it. We'll save everything to the workshop. And then I'll go back into the survival game and we're going to spawn those in and then continue on with the survival series. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you the next time we catch you. Bye-bye.